What's going on, guys? Joe and Gio back again with another topic for you guys. And today we're talking about roots versus wings. So, what does this mean? Well, in life, you can choose to either have roots or wings. You can choose to either stay in one place like an oak tree, grow a family, grow your community, stay in your country, your state, your city, wherever it is, and be tied down to all these obligations you have. Or you can take the leap of faith, trust in yourself and your capabilities, and live life on your own terms. You can choose to have wings. Only catch is you can't have both. You have to pick one or the other. So, Gio, what do you think about that?
It's exactly how it is, man, to the T, you know? Basically, roots versus wings. What does that mean? Roots are essentially, at least in regards to self development, things that tie us down, things that keep us grounded and stable. This could be anything from your family, friends, a job, anything that holds you down, whereas wings obviously help you fly and prosper. So, like Joe said, and it's the best way that you put it, you can't have both. So, for me, it's a matter of perspective and defining what is a root versus a wing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was literally just talking about this last night with one of my girlfriends. We were having some food and we were talking about family and like how she spends the holidays, right? And it's in Latino American culture where I'm at. It's very common to spend holidays with family, like do all these family events. And she was telling me about it, running me through it, and she was talking to me how about she has like 20 like siblings, brothers, and aunts, and it's like minimum 25 people at any family function. And I'm like, God damn, like the first time I sat down and had dinner with the family, I was 20 years old, and it was at my boy's place. It wasn't even with my own family, and that was like Christmas Day, like 2016 or some shit like that. So she's talking to me about how this is such a common thing for her, and then I spoke on my experience, and we just kind of chatted a bit, and she played the role of therapist for me, even though I didn't really need it, but it was a fun conversation we had, and it ties back into what we're talking about today because um, I really said fuck everything. I left the country I was born into. I've started over 3 times now. I've left family, friends, girlfriends, jobs. I looked at my life. I looked at the tools that I had at my disposal and what I wanted for myself. Then I made the decisions that I needed to make to materialize the life that I wanted for myself. So all I did was look at my life, what I want for myself, what I can do, the tools that I have, and I chose. I made the decision. I want X for myself, so I have to do W, Y, Z in order to get X, right? Um, so it's really it comes down to knowing yourself. You don't know what you want until you know yourself, because if you don't know yourself, you don't know what you have to do to get what you want to be, or be who you want to be. um, so it goes into what you're saying, defining what is a root and what is a wing, what can propel you into where you want to be at, and what will hold you back. So um, being able to discern, that's important.
Yeah, man, for sure. So it's funny because the family matter is essentially like the same um, example that I have, the best example in my personal experience that I can give. Because again, the thing is, perspective is what defines a root, something as a root or as a wing. Anything can be either something that holds you down and keeps you moving from moving forward, or on the flip side, that same thing can be something that sets you free and helps you soar. But that doesn't mean something can be both a root and a wing, but rather what one person may see as a root, another person may see as a wing. So, personal example and application is again with family. I used to be one of those people that was tied down by family. I've always had plans to, for example, leave my state of birth. But I used to abandon those ideas because I didn't want to leave my family. I was one of those people that was like, oh, I want to leave, but I have all my family here. And I'm not going to get into, all of that. But I used to feel validated by my family and my family alone. I used to think my life revolved around them and, the whole idea that you don't abandon the tribe. Mind you, before I go on, like I still love my people more than I can ever express. I have family over everything written, in my skin. But
100%, bro. I mean, of course,
like,
I love my mom and my sister. I literally have a portrait of my mom on my body. So like,
of course,
we don't want to dismiss the value that family brings to someone, community, right?
this is just a simple like personal application. Again, just because this is on the topic of self improvement, self development, So like, I still love my people, but I've also learned to put it bluntly that family could be the biggest blessing as well as the biggest excuse for making yourself a fucking doormat. You know, I used to think my people would help me soar, and when in reality, I allowed myself to be chained down to these roots that kept me down in all areas of life, that kept me from growing, you know? So this is just a personal example, guys. Um, Again, this is a personal example. I know there's many people out there that feel the same way or in the same position that don't allow themselves the chance to soar because of the roots that they feel tied down to. And this is something that I've far gotten over by applying the fundamentals that we've discussed and really just correlate to this whole topic as an example, such as value, boundaries, and creating a life of your design, just to name a few.
Yeah, 100%, man. And at the end of the day, it comes down to oneself. I mean, you have to know yourself to know what you want for yourself. And you said it best. You abandoned a lot of aspirations and goals because, oh, my family. Oh, I can't leave little brother, little sister, mom, dad behind because, oh, for whatever reason. And I get that. There's nothing wrong with that. And there are people that do that their whole life. I mean, I know people personally that were born in a country or a city or a little village and they have died or are going to die in that same village and have never traveled the world outside of their country, outside of their
Never left the
state,
nest.
outside of their village. Never. So there's nothing wrong with that. If that's something someone wants for themselves, some people want that for themselves. I don't personally. I never have and never will. So the way I live my life is different because I know what I want for myself. The way you live your life is different because you know what you want for yourself. The way our viewers live their lives is very different than my life and your life because they are the ones that know best what they want for themselves.
Yeah, man. Again, it's a you have to look at your situation from a different lens, one that requires brutal honesty. What do you want for yourself, and are the things that you're holding on to, are they holding you in place, or are they tools that'll help you level up and get to where you want to be? You know, like if you just look at it from a different angle and say, hey, maybe I'm holding on to something, maybe I'm holding on to this and it's not helping me soar, or maybe I can see that something's helping me grow, but in reality, it's just holding you back. But again, it requires honesty and what you want for your life. So, do you want to be tied down in the same spot forever? Do you want to leave the nest and see what your life can look like on the other side of that action?
Yeah, guys, like what's it gonna be? You're gonna be someone that's never have, it's never attempted, or gonna be someone that's gonna say, yeah, I tried this and I attempted this. Even though I failed or I succeeded, I still attempted it. So the decision is yours, guys. I mean, only you know what you want to do with your life, right? So you choose. Do you want roots or do you want wings? Only you know yourself. So be sure to check us out, on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music, where our podcast is uploaded. Um, you guys know where to find it. You guys know where to find us. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. As Gio always says, the direction is only up. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.